Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Right now we're going to do a quick review of the August 8th edition of Monday Night Raw. Okay, it's going to be really quick. I'm only going to hit on a few points here. Obviously, in my humble opinion, I thought the show overall was bad. I didn't watch all of it, but then again, who watches an entire 3-hour episode of Raw? I mean, who watches the Lord of the Rings movie every Monday night? You know, that's just crazy. The show's 3 hours. I don't even think they really expect viewers to stay for 3 hours, the whole thing start to finish, obviously. They just want to set up things in the show and have you know what's coming and what's going to be, and then have people tune in and whatever. So anyway, the 3 points I really thought about making for the Raw show that I thought were kind of interesting, and maybe I think of them differently than most fans or most marks do. I don't know. One is the Braun Strowman push they're trying to do against local talents, aka jobbers, enhancement talents. Here's the thing. This is stupid. It really is. It's stupid. I don't need to have Braun Strowman beat up a no-name cruiserweight to know that the guy is massive. The guy's 6'8". He's 375 pounds. He's one of the strongest men in the world, okay? I don't need him to beat up a cruiserweight and have the announcers act like, oh my god, okay? If you really want to put him over, actually have him wrestle talent, okay? Because another point is with the jobbing is people complain like, oh, Zack Ryder's a jobber or this person's a jobber or whatever. You know what? I saw a job match tonight. I saw an enhancement match tonight. I saw Sin Cara and Neville against the Dudley Boys. Do you honestly think the Dudley Boys are going to win that match? When's the last time the Dudley Boys won a fucking match? They're jobbers in the tag team division, okay? But it lent credit to Neville and Sin Cara working as a team to beat them because the Dudley Boys are already established. They know what they're doing, but they're not obviously in their prime anymore. Yes, they hold records, but everyone knows when the Dudleys come out there that they're going to get a good match, but, you know, they're not going to beat anybody. I mean, they're enhancement talent. They are pre-pay-per-view match caliber talent right now, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So the Braun Strowman cruiserweight squash is stupid because I know what's going to happen in that match, and I'm not going to get an entertaining match. I'm just going to get, once again, another big guy come out there and beat up a cruiserweight. I know what's going to happen in those 2 minutes. I'm going to change the fucking channel. So I thought the enhancement matches that they were having with Braun Strowman what is this, the third week now? They're stupid, okay? Throw him an actual opponent, you know, someone that's, you know, a jobber, but is actually a name on the roster that people know, okay? Throw him somebody. This 3 weeks of enhancement talent things is stupid. And it has a history of a wrestler leading nowhere, because when you have a 3-minute cruiserweight squash match, you're not really displaying a character. All you're doing is displaying that, oh, this guy's strong. Well, I would expect him to be strong. The guy he's wrestling is the size of a child. So it's not really displaying strength. Brock Lesnar F5ing the Big Show displays strength. Braun Strowman throwing around a guy that weighs 180 pounds is not strength. Okay? It doesn't depict character in any way. Oh, he's big, scary, doesn't talk much, he lets the action go for him. Well, we've had a history of people that do that, and they have a history of actually getting exposed later on in their wrestling career as not as good as they probably should be, and they end up going nowhere. Case in point, The Ultimate Warrior. Case in point, Goldberg. Case in point, Ryback. Case in point, Braun Strowman. If you want to get Braun Strowman over, I suggest they do like what they're doing with Nia Jax more, is play a vignette. A vignette will get somebody over better than a 3-minute stupid match that I already know the outcome to and, you know, am not really impressed by. So a vignette in place of that product segment of the match would work so much better. And speaking of vignettes, this is something, the second point I want to touch on for the Raw I thought was kind of stupid is Seth Rollins went out there and cut a promo against Finn Balor saying, I'm not afraid of you. And, of course, he immediately dug into the storyline that they're going to try and sell, you know, and obviously the big thing about SummerSlam is you're going to see Finn Balor as the Demon, which is cool. I get it. You know, wrestling's fake. I get it. The Undertaker isn't really a devil-worshipping demon conjurer guy, whatever. You know, the Ultimate Warrior was not really a cosmic Superman come to this planet fueled by touching the ring ropes or something like that. You know, Hulkamania was a fictional force. So I get it. But at the same time, props to Seth Rollins because he cut a promo, and the words he had to get, and the lines he had to say, he did it, and he did it in a way that it didn't sound like he was reading a scripted promo. Because how do you know the promo was scripted? Because this is, I thought, was cool, but at the same time stupid, and it comes back to vignettes having power, is then later on in the show, they have Finn Balor sitting there on a set, like he's sitting on a bench or something, and he's got curtains behind him, and he's sitting there in a black suit, and he's got his hands in the Angela Merkel CEO super pose, the fingertips together, because, he was playing with super glue or something. And Finn Balor goes right in on this rant about how he's an Irish person, and he's going to conjure up Irish folklore or something like that, and his name, Finn Balor, he's a demon, and it escalates, and they show, like, all these clips and old-time sepia-tone drawings of Irish mythical creatures, of banshees and whatnot, and then he talks about Finn the warrior and Balor the king of demons, and how at SummerSlam, the warrior king of demons is going to be unleashed and come out and destroy Seth Rollins, and then they finish with zooming into his eyes, and then, of course, you see glimpses and flashes of Finn Balor in his demon makeup get-up that you've seen in NXT. I thought that was cool and all, but then it's like, at the same time, it's like, clearly you can tell that was a taped segment, just like the Dr. Gallows and Dr. Anderson segment, or the Nia Jax segment. You can tell that was taped. So in the taped segment, though, he makes a point to directly respond to Seth Rollins's promo, which was supposed, it was live, but, his direct verbiage, how he's arrogant and how he has disrespect and all this. So it's like, how did he know Seth Rollins was going to say that, in this taped segment that was clearly taped and obviously edited together with all the graphics and all that shit before the show was even aired that night. So it's kind of funny, like, if you look at it that way. So I thought that was a good way to get over the Demon Balor at SummerSlam, and I think it's going to be cool because that entrance itself, I think, is cool. There's two entrances that I really like, and I'm a stickler for a good entrance, and they both happen to be NXT entrances. Finn Balor's entrance and Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance is just awesome. But anyway, so I thought that was kind of stupid, so I don't know. So that kind of ties into vignettes having power, but in this case, I thought it was used a little off. And then the final thing I just want to touch on is Roman didn't get booed as much as he does. You can always tell when they edit out the boos, because you can see the crowd booing, but at this time he didn't get booed because Rusev has genuine heat. Rusev is a genuine worker. He's out there, and yes, he's playing a stale gimmick. Vince McMahon and WWE have this stupid thing where it's like, oh, this guy's not American, so automatically he's a bad guy, he's a foreign, he's a menace. And it's like, with the exception of Cesaro, everyone's got that stupid fucking gimmick. If you talk with an accent that's not found in North America, you're automatically considered a bad guy, or you don't talk at all, like a Lucha Libre wrestler. But anyway, Roman comes out, and I thought the skit was funny because it depicted Roman's personality more. His whole, oh, I don't talk much, I let my actions in the ring do more for me. Roman has a personality, and it's coming out on podcasts, it's coming out on radio interviews, it's coming out on backstage segments that even WWE produces, and people like that, So Roman has a personality. He got to display it, and it was kind of funny because he's coming off a wellness suspension, and what does he do? He pours champagne in some glasses, and he offers one to Rusev, and Rusev, of course, doesn't take it, so he just slams it and throws it, Like, okay, this guy just likes to slam his champagne. That's cool. And then he holds up another glass, and of course, the highlight of the segment was Lana going into a cake, which we all knew that was going to happen. May not have thought Lana was going to go into the cake. Maybe it was going to be Rusev, but the fact that Lana went into the cake, I mean, it's been done, but at the same time, it doesn't get old, especially with Lana. I mean, she is such a polarizing figure. You look at her and you listen to her speak, and she's just stunning, and you're drawn to her, but at the same time, you hate her because she's like Stephanie McMahon, she's stunning and holds herself to a personality that you should be in awe of, but at the same time, when she speaks, it's like, oh, you just want to put your hands around her throat and wring her neck, but this isn't the Attitude Era. We don't kill women anymore in wrestling. But I thought that part of the segment was good. I thought it drug out way too long, and Roman couldn't have got out there fast enough. So when Roman did get out there, though, people were just cheering him, that they knew that they were in the home stretch of the segment. So that was good. So maybe the segment going on as long as it did, making the crowd chant boring and stuff, was actually a good way to get Roman over. So I thought it really helped Roman. It really helped Rusev. At the same time, I don't think Roman should get the U.S. title come SummerSlam. I really don't, because then it's just going to be back to square one, oh, he's getting the push, he's this, that, and he's just whatever, this is bullshit. And it's like, that's true. It's kind of weird that the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title, the Tag Team Championships, and up until recently, the Women's Championship, all the other titles have actually meant something, and the title holders hold their titles for a very long time, even if it's The Miz, who's like off making movies and shit. But still, they're holding the titles for almost a year or close to a year, or in like New Day's case, over a year. So Rusev's had that title for a long time. Unlike the world title, which is, since the Royal Rumble, since the beginning of the year, has changed hands like 4 or 5 different times between 4 or 5 different wrestlers. So in a way, I hope Roman Reigns doesn't beat Rusev and adds more legitimacy to Rusev and makes the feud better. I could seriously see Rusev and Roman Reigns feuding or going at it one-on-one, have a tag team partner of your choosing and do these little matches here and there. But since they only have to work each other on television one day a week, instead of, Raw and SmackDown, just Raw, I could see storylines going longer and not getting as stale or as dull before they hit their crescendo. I could see Survivor Series is where Roman wins the U.S. title, and I hopefully, if done right by then, he'll make a good U.S. champion, because Roman fans are good fans. Like, they're very loyal to him. Even in his suspension, he didn't lose a lot of fans. The people that hate him already hate him. The people that like him are going to keep liking him no matter what he does. It's clicking, it's working, it's selling t-shirts. He's kind of like Donald Trump. The people that don't like Donald Trump, they're never going to like him. The people that like Donald Trump can't do anything to make people hate him. In their eyes, no matter what he says or how he puts his foot in his mouth, they forgive him, they exonerate him for it, whatever. He's not held to the same standard. So yes, I just compared Roman Reigns to Donald Trump, and I think that's a good way to stop this review and just wait till SmackDown. So if you like these videos, remember, I'm just starting out. Feel free to give me a comment, even if it's critical, even if you want to be a hater about it. I don't care. I don't let things emotionally get to me, so tell me what you actually seriously think of Raw. Tell me what you think of this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that other stuff. And I'll see you after SmackDown and tell you what I think there too. Peace!